So traders, the market is holding strong right now. And what I thought was going to happen is probably not going to happen right now. And one thing I've learned over my time is we must not fight the market. We must go with what the market is telling us. And what the market is telling us right now, it is strong like bull. Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so let's have the entire market right now is very, very, very strong like bull. Now, right now, for the last probably month now, probably for the last few weeks, I've actually been expecting to see more downside, a bit more of a drop out of these markets, right? But one thing I've learned around these markets is this, and over the last 20 years of trading the markets, is one thing I've learned is that I must go with what the market is doing right now and telling me right now, and not what I think is going to happen. Right. I spoke to someone just recently on the phone yesterday, and this particular gentleman, he is really, really, really doing it tough because he's been trading a lot. He's been getting into positions based on a lot of what he's thinking is going to happen. Right. So he's watching a lot of YouTube videos, watching all these different YouTube videos and making decisions. And his account went from $270,000 to now down to $150,000 over the course of over the last few years. And the one thing that I was saying to him is that the big thing you're doing wrong right now is you're making decisions based off just someone else's thoughts, right? You think a YouTube video like mine right now is the key to your success. But what is the key to your success? The key to success is I'm going to give you my opinions right now, but also I'm going to tell you what the market is telling me right now, which simply means what is the market doing right now, and we must go with that, right? You know the whole thing, the trend is your friend until the end, right? Well, if the trend is still intact, then guess what? Then we should stay with that, right? We need to go with that. Too many times in my trading career, guys, I have gotten the big smack, right? The big smack. Too many times in my trading career, I've got the big smack from actually just going based off what I think. Here's a really big revelation around these markets. No one definitely knows what's going to happen, right? So there's a newsflash. Ray Dalio, Paul Tudor Jones, Stanley Druckenmiller, David Hunter, Harry Dent, right? No one definitely knows what's going to happen with these markets. So the main thing we can rely on is what I like to come back to, which is my first rule out of my trading system, which you can learn for free. Link in description. I teach you all the details of my trading system so you can start to apply this to your own trading today. You can actually see the pattern that I use. And you can see it's one of the most successful trading patterns when it does appear, and it's amazing. It really, really, really is amazing when it appears in the markets there, right? Again, I teach you all the details for free, guys. That first link in the description there. I'm running a webinar. I can teach you all that. So that link in the description there, guys. So the whole thing about one thing I've learned is that if the market is telling us something right now, we just need to go with that, right? And this is where really I need to remove my opinions and my judgments and what I think and I hope and so on and so forth. And is this, right? If there is a trend intact, like I'm looking at the S&P 500 right now, and I did a video yesterday saying, you know what, guys, do or die for the markets. It's either going to die here and we're going to break below this major level. There's two levels of support. So I've got this support level through here. As you can see, like this whole level of support and resistance through here. So that level through there. And we also have a major resistance around the 525 level. I was saying in yesterday's update, it's either going to do or die. Did it die? No. Did it do? It do, right? So what does that actually mean for us? If we're actually looking at what the market is telling us right now as we speak, we can see that it's doing what? Not what we think, not what we hope, again, guys, I'm eating my words right now. For the last few weeks at least, I've been saying expect more downside to come out of the stock market. Now, guys, this is not a caveat. This is not a blatant statement across all markets, because there's many stocks with inside the S&P 500, right? Again, I'm looking at the SPY right now, but there's many stocks with inside the S&P 500 that are in downward trends, right? Just look at Nike as an example, right? Let me show you this here. Let me show you as an example here. Like, look at Nike, right? Nike's doing what? Nike's just in a very big lower high situation, right? So this is not a blatant statement across all stocks and the entire market. So if I say the S&P 500 is doing this, right? The S&P 500 is doing this, and that's what we need to go with, right? So one thing that I like to do, and I was actually speaking with my clients, is that if I'm doing my analysis, right, I'm using my technical analysis, which what I'm using right now is simple trend analysis, right? What's happening here right now? Trend analysis and support and resistance. Okay, so what happened here? We had a lot of resistance. It ran up, came back down, found support. If this is going to be a false breakout, it would have gone down and gone down like that. Did we get that? No, it actually held the support. Now resistance is now become support, and now we're breaking to the upside from here. What is that telling us? The trend's still intact. So no matter how many videos I've done in the past by me saying, guess what, guys? Market going down, market down, right? My ego says I want to be right, so let me keep going with that. I've learned the hard way, guys, and I would have to say that it has to be in the vicinity of multiple six figures in losing positions over the last decade of me doing some really dumbass things. And guess what? The dumbass things is just me trading based off my ego and me fighting the markets, right? And me thinking that there's a top going to be in place soon and all this sort of stuff. It's just never a good place. What's the best thing to do? Is that if the market's going to keep, if we're going to be an incredible bull market right now, and we're going to be this through and even if we're going to go through an extraordinary exuberant phase, guess what? I just want to be part of it, right? And if the market is telling me we have this low point down here, low, and now another significant higher low, then guess what? The market's going up, right? Like I'm not right. That's not me, right? It's not me. And now the market's made a higher low, and now look what happened. Look what happened today. A break above that, and also we've got a nice increase in volume on the SPY. Now, what does that actually mean to the markets? It means we're probably going to go through another really big move, right? Another really big move to the upside. And if we do sort of like a 1-to-1 projection, sort of that point there to that point there, right? And then we project that out from there to there, then we could be looking at possibly starting to see 555. There you go, guys, right? We could possibly start to see a move to the upside. Now, I do have another trend line here, guys. Looking at this, I was just doing some analysis just recently, and I can see, right, look at this. There's that channel through there, right? So we've got all this resistance all through here. So that level through there may be a chance this actually makes a move up, and we may be getting ready for a nice 5% or so move to the upside, and to get to this other level here. As you can see, resistance became support, and now it's breaking up. So this market's very, very, very strong right now, guys. And once again, the last thing I'm going to do is try to throw my ego and my thoughts at it. And right now, it is making higher lows. Right now, it is support, which was resistance, and now it's actually breaking up. So it didn't die, but it's a do, right? And what does that mean? Expect more upside, especially in the expect more upside in the S&P 500. Same thing for like the things like the NASDAQ as well too, guys. So this is the NASDAQ. Look at the NASDAQ. Major resistance all through here. 1, 2, 3, 4 times resistance. Came all the way down, hit support, and then now it's actually breaking up, and now we're breaking to the upside. What does that mean? Hey, the trend's up, right? The trend's up. We can't be fighting this right now, and thinking that, you know, the market's going to go down like I thought, right? It's like, okay, well, the Dow Jones is going down, and I can come up with a whole story of why I think the market's going to go down, right? The recession's coming, the market's going to crash. What's the market doing right now, right? Mr. Market is always right. And my rule number one is what? Always, what's the trend? And if there's a trend intact, okay? Now, if there's no trend, then there's no friend there, right? No, there's no friend. Because a trend is what? Higher low, breaking past previous highs. So the trend's up right now, right? It's like, doesn't matter what we think or what we hope for. It's like the trend is up right now, right? Same for the S&P 500. So I would not want to be fighting this market right now. This market is very, very, very strong, especially by looking at these other markets. Even from the Dow Jones perspective, right? Look at this here. I want to show you this here. So looking at the Dow Jones is still in a strong upward trend through here. Why? Look at this here. Low, higher low. It's still creating some form of a higher low here. So we're still in a very strong bull. We're still in a very strong bull market, even on the Dow Jones. We've just had these nice healthy corrections out of the Dow Jones. This is what I was expecting to see out of the. I was expecting to see this out of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ, but we just didn't quite get that from there. So let me bring that over here. Right, so that's what I'm seeing through there, guys, across the actual market. Now, remember, guys, what we want to do is we want to analyze each individual stock in each individual markets. What I'm doing right now is, as I said before, like the Dow Jones and the S&P and the NASDAQ, they're all doing something different. So we can't say the entire stock market is this, right? Because it's just not the case. Because, like, even for, like, the Russell to me is doing what? The Russell to me is squeezing up into this pattern. So we could be getting ready for a big breakout of the Russell, and the Russell could be another really big mover. There's actually so many amazing opportunities right now, guys. I'm just doing some scans and building watch list of stocks and things that are happening right now. There's so many amazing opportunities right now, guys, that are underneath the surface, and it's so important that you get a good understanding of how to identify these setups here, right? Because the thing that I think about when it comes to the actual stock market, guys, and it comes to actually trading the markets, is the big thing that I'm always realizing myself is amazing opportunities could be right in front of our face and pass us by if we're not actually looking for it, right? You use the analogy, right? Is like on your way to work today, right? On your way to work, will you know how many red cars were there? Probably not. But if I said to you, every single time you see a red car, I'm going to give you $50. Oh, John, I saw 13 of them. Because you're looking for that, right? And so that's the thing for me, is like, I'm always like, the number one thing for me is like, what am I looking for? What am I looking for? And when I go off the bandwagon, right, and I do some stupid mistakes and I do some stupid trades, and it all comes back down to my habits and routines, right? But what am I looking for? What am I looking for? What is a high quality setup? Let me look for those, right? And then guess what? If you know exactly what you're looking for in a high quality setup, that's going to give you at least a high probability of doing well out of the markets, out of trading, overlay with some good risk management. Now we can see them, right? And that's the reason why, guys, it's important to know what a good setup looks like. So when it's right in front of your face, you're like, oh, I can see the reason why this is a good setup right now. But a lot of people wouldn't be able to see that because they just don't have the proper training from there. And unfortunately, I spoke to a guy yesterday. Do you know I spoke to a guy yesterday, guys? He's been losing money for 10 years. And for 10 years, he's done no training at all. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you need to get educated. You can't expect just to get involved with this thing called stock market or trading and have no education at all of understanding how these markets work and expect to do really well out of it. It's like, he just thinks that, and he's been struggling. He's been struggling for 10 years, and he wonders why 10 years later his life's nowhere better. I'm just like, you need to get yourself educated. So anyway, look at the Russell right here, guys. Right now, the Russell could be getting ready for a breakout. If it does start to get a really good breakout on the Russell could be that next big mover out of the markets. The entire market actually looks strong right now, guys. The Dow Jones might be holding here, but looking at the NASDAQ, looking at the S&P, and then even looking at the Russell, they all look really, really strong. So my ego says I want to be right because the last few weeks I've been saying the market go down, but I'm telling you this, guys, because I don't want your ego getting involved with this. If the market's going to continue staying in a strong trend for a while, let's just go with it, right? If it's going to start to turn around, it'll tell us when it's going to turn around. Just have some good risk management, so when you do have some losing positions, you're not getting hurt too much, and you can move on to the next trade, right? So that's what I'm seeing through there when it comes to the actual stock market there, guys. And this is something that I was even like talking with my private clients today, guys, which I'm with every single day. If you'd like to get access to my coaching, where I'm with you every day, guys, for an hour and a half every day, showing you what I'm doing, holding your hand, coaching you, plus getting access to my scanning technology, my scans, getting access to my entire and the entire private coaching program, which is access to all the trading modules and the workbook and the checklist and exactly how to identify high quality setups, plus getting me there every single day, then you may be a good fit for the coaching program, guys. That's second link in the description, or if you go to getjohnshelp.com, go fill out the application form, guys, and I'll call you to see if you're a good fit. And again, this is all that every day for an hour and a half, showing you, coaching you, holding your hand, and going over setups, so you can really start to hone in on what good quality setups, because you know yourself, right? Even on a low basis, a really good quality setup, even trading 5 or 10 grand on a trade, could mean $40,000 or $50,000 profit, right? Especially when you start to look at options and stuff like that. So do yourself a favor, right, guys, and really, really start to learn this, because there's going to be so much money made over the next 6 months. And I'm just looking at the setups that are happening right now, the trades that I'm in right now myself, and I'm looking at just what the market's doing. Just please get educated, okay? And above all, if you're a bit of a cheap ass, guys, you don't want to do anything with coaching, then there's that link in the description there, guys, to my entire trading course. I give access to my entire trading course, walking you through the biggest mistakes, the chart reading techniques, the trading system, all that sort of stuff. So just get the help, guys, because not only are you probably going to be making a lot of mistakes in the markets, but once you know what to look for in a high quality setup and really get the proper training and the guidance, and that's what my coaching program is for. Again, guys, you could literally be missing out on hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits just because you don't know what you're looking for. So get the help you need there, guys. Let's kind of look at the actual silver and gold market here, guys. So the silver market right now, guys, is just getting a pullback. I'm expecting another higher low here soon out of the markets. Again, the trend is your friend until the end, right? Look what's happening here. Up, higher low, up, higher low, up, higher low, and we're probably going to continue something like that, right? So that's what we're looking forward from there. And then also same for the gold market, right? Higher low, higher. We're still making higher lows. We are really stuck in this overall sort of sideways movement here now on gold. Again, I don't expect too much of a downside movement. I expect just more sideways. And then possibly maybe after a few more weeks, if we start to get a bit of a breakout after that, then we could be getting ready for a really big move to come out of that level through there. So there's a lot of things that's happening right now on individual stocks, guys. There's so much amazing movements that are happening right now. And once you know what to look for, guys, and you can really know how to scan the markets and spend time going through the markets and looking for these opportunities, there's some really, 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 really powerful and amazing things happening right now, guys. And once again, I must reiterate, once you know how to identify high quality setup, you'll be able to see them, right? Because you're looking for them. If you don't know what you're looking for, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars, and potentially over the next 10 years, there could be well over $1 million worth of profits that you're missing out on just because you don't know how to identify these amazing setups.